After finishing the excavation, we stock 10,000 fish. We feed it for about 8 to 9 months. In the north, which is warmer, the fish grow faster. And in the west, which is a little cold, you add 1 more month to reach the same grams. So by that time, the fish will be about 800 grams to 1.5 kilograms. In the market, the fish which is 1 kilograms or 800 grams here cost about 10,000 shillings. So having stock here 10,000 fish, by 10,000, somebody will get 100 million in 1 year. And then when you subtract other cost of managing, which is roughly 30 million, somebody can be able to save 70 million on this fish pond. And this size, we can put 2 of them in 1 acre. Now, so meaning in this particular...
Now that is the testimony of my people in Lira.
Oyo alikuwa obubaka okuba omukulu oyo omukozi wa president ali erira ali kutukobera engeri byakolaku okusingira ekidiba engeri yekikolamu emirimu.
The 4 acres of coffee, they planted coffee, fruits.
Muyika ina mwasimbibwamu mwani n'ebibala,
bananas,
amatooke,
pasture for cows,
n'eisubi eryente,
and then a fish pond.
N'ebidiba ebyengege.
We don't have time to go to all the chibalo of the whole place.
Ekibalo kyona kyona ebiseera by'okujja mu kibalo ekya kifo kyona kyona kiyinza okuba nga kizira busaawa dino.
But let's take the fish pond.
Ajja kwogera ku bidiba ebyebyenanda.
You saw what he said.
Tuwulire kikyakobye.
The fish pond of 20 by 50, I think.
Ekidiba ekyobugazi obwa 25.
He earns 100 million shillings a year.
Muvaamu emiliyoni 10 omwaka omulamba.
If you deduct costs,
bw'atoola ku bidaasansaaniza,
it remains with 70 million.
Asigaza emiliyoni 7.
And that is in half an acre.
Ng'ate ekyo kitundu ku yiika.
So if it is a full acre, that's 140 million net.
Bw'aba ng'atayiremu ebidiba ekimala ku yiika enamba aba afuna emiliyoni 18 amagoba.
Now, this is the medicine we agreed in the leadership of the NRM in 1996 that please, this is the medicine for the people with small pieces of land.
Eryo n'eddagala eryayikirizaganizibwako okuva ku 1996 eri abantu abo abalina eitaka itono.
And we put it in the manifesto.
Era kyateebwa manifesto ey'omwaka ogwo eyatuusa ku bukulembeze.
And we started programs to support it, not only to guide but also to support.
Tikuwa buwe magezi era ni government ya Uganda yayamba abantu okusobola okutuukiriza endowooza eyo.
Starting with entandikwa,
n'okutandika n'entandikwa,
with NADS,
okwiza ku NADS,
Operation Wealth Creation,
okwiza ku OWC.
They were giving things free.
Okubawa ebintu by'obwereere ebyayidanga mu biruka gyaimwe ni magombola gaimwe gona gona.
Now I will come back to that.
Mzee yakayatedda kwira inuma awo.
But before I go to that, there is another type of agriculture.
Ngaka ali kujja gali enkola eyindi ey'obulimi.
This one of the 4 acres, we call it intensive farming.
Eno enkola eya yika eina intensive naako
n'okudda wansi
n'okwira wansi
yenkola eyokukolera awafunda n'ojjamu ekinene
n'enkola ey'okukolera abantu agatono wafuna kinene.
This is intensive farming.
Esewo.
Tell them. This is intensive farming.
Okulima kuno kwa yiika eina, okulimira mu yiika eina n'okulimira watono ng'olima ebintu eby'esente eningi ng'ate awantu watono.
But there is extensive
farming. Ayo waaninintiza.
But there is extensive farming.
Naye waliwo okulimira awantu agagazi.
Which Uganda also needs.
Era baba na Uganda kwebenda ni Uganda kweyenda.
This is where the bikado falls.
Awo ebikwade bigwa.
It is something you do on a big scale, you will get good money.
Bw'olimira ku itaka erinene ng'oli kulima mu bungi osobola okufuna sente.
This is where Duma falls.
Ne Duma yena agwa mu biketeze ebyo oba mu bitundu ebyo.
This is where tea falls.
N'amajani gona gagwa mu biketeze ebyo.
This is where tobacco falls.
Ni tobacco yena agwa mu nankani mu category edo.
This is where the indigenous cows. I keep indigenous cows myself. I don't have Frisians.
Ne nteda ifedino ensogobe nankole dona digwa mu ituluberyo.
I have some Frisians, a few, but most of my cows are the indigenous.
Entedino enchuse damu alina do aye enteda singa okuba naddo ne enteda na kansa ngwawo.
But I do it on a big scale.
Era adikolera ku itaka ku bugazi bunene ino.
So this was our advice.
Era agona amagezi NRM n'oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti ge yatuwanga abana Uganda.
And it is still the advice.
Ng'era gakaaliwo era akaaga kutuwa.
And you can see, those they are showing you my cows. You show them.
Banange bali kutulaga ente damuzeeyi munaabona mayiga mugume mubona amayiga naago.
Show us the ebikado. Have you got ebikado?
Bagano mbomala otulaga ebikado.
On a big scale?
Mu bungi.
Or tea, if you...
N'amajani gona bwe gabanga galiwo.
Quickly. That is
yangu wako okusobola tulaga ebintu ebyo.
That's a factory. We don't want factory.
Kino kyuma kya sukaali aye nga n'ebikado muzeeyi biibyo.
Okay. In the background.
Ebyo bya lugazi.
Okay.
Yes, sebo.
Those are the factory and the sugar cane.
Awo ne lugazi ekyuma kya sukaali n'ebikado ebiva mu sukaali.
Let's see. Those are tea estates.
Awo we balimira amajani
and the factories.
N'ekyuma kyako.
Let's see the palm oil.
Ebyo nebina alikusaba nti batulaga ebinaazi n'ebyo ebinaazi.
Those are ebinaazi. So
n'ensonga.
The two medicines are there. The extensive for the people with big land and the intensive for the people with small land.
Eidagala liriwo eri abantu abalina eitaka einene okulima mu bungi n'abalina eitaka itono bono okulima ng'era basobola okufunamu akasente.
I told you that the government has been sending support to implement exactly that. I told you that the government has been sending money and support.
Era oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti ali kutukoba nti gavumenti ebayireegereza akasente okuyamba okutuukiriza ebigendererwa ebyo.
And the entandikwa NADS operational wealth creation.
Mwana byona entandikwa yatandikira okuyida OWC NADS byona byona bibali bidde okutuyamba okutuukiriza ekirowoozo ekyo.
And they have all contributed to the wealth of Uganda as a whole.
Era ebyo bikoze omulimu munene okuba nga byongereza n'enkola ey'abantu okuva mu bwavu.
That's why you hear that Uganda is exporting more coffee now.
Era kyova kimuwulira saawa dino nti Uganda eri kutwala emwani ningi eno kuluya.
More beef.
Eri kutwala enyamani, etunda enyamani ningi eno kuluya.
More maize.
Era eri kutunda duuma mungi eno kuluya.
Because of those efforts.
Olw'enkola eyo ey'oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti NRM Party kye bakoze.
But I started hearing that from my people in the villages.
Oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti yatandika okuwulira mu bantu baabwe omu kyalo
begabira bokka
nti abagaba ebintu bino babyegabira bonka.
So I said, okay.
Oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti yakoba ati kale
if that is the problem,
bwebanga n'ensonga.
It was a big battle in cabinet. I came to cabinet. I said, you people.
Lwali lutalo lw'amaani ino oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti ng'alina olukiiko lw'abaminisita.
Because they were saying, you know, Operation Wealth Creation is doing well. There's more coffee. There's more coffee. Yes, there's more coffee. But there are people, it could be more coffee with the few people who are engaged in it.
Olukiiko lwa minisita lwali lukoba nti omukutugulo gwa OWC gwali gulikola omulimu mulungi ino ayo ti by president yakatibe eri yakatali katuufu.
Because they were saying the production was more for the country.
Olwokuba nti tulimye ebintu byali bingi ino ebiviire mu OWC ebyokulima.
Which is true.
Ngate kituufu.
But there were it could be more, but in the fewer families who are engaged in it.
Kiyinza okuba nga kituufu waliwo okukulankulana n'okufulumya ebiwera aye nga family enondeddamu edaali difuna ebintu ebyo efamily edindi daati tidutuukibwako.
And when you look in the figures, you have like 30% of the people are still outside the money economy.
Era bw'olinga ku mbalirira ey'eiwanga ne population y'abantu ebitundu 3 bibaire nga bikaali gansi bikaali kutuukaana ku bantu ababalibwa nga balina sente.
So that's why I said no. Let's now send money to the beneficiaries themselves.
Oweekitiibwa president n'okoba ati be esente dino tandike okuddiga abantu beene abajja okola omulimo badikozese beene.
This is the whole thing about PDM.
Lwaki PDM eriwo era mulinayo miruka gyaimwe?
And the PDM was all adults in the parish.
PDM yaida mu miruka gyaimwe jona
egamba nti all adults emyaka 18 n'okudda waggulu.
Kasita obanga oswise emyaka 18 n'okwira waigulu weena osobola okufuna esente da PDM.
You want to be in PDM, you go and join the circle.
Era ng'oli kwenda okuba mu group eyeena afuna ku sente edo joingire mu bibiina ebyo by'okwekulankulanya ebiri ku muluka gwaimwe.
Nobody will stop you.
Ezira muntu yeena anaakulemesa okufuna sente da PDM.
Okuyingira mu circle.
Okuyingira mu kibiina ekyo eky'obwegayisi.
So that you are all members.
Nga mwena mufuuse ba memba obw'ekibiina ekyo eky'obwegayisi eky'omuluka.
And after you join,
bw'onaamala okuyingira,
the parish conference elects a committee.
Olukiiko lw'omuluka olwo olufuusa olwo lwida kulonda akakiiko akanaabakulembera.
And the kakiiko's work is simply to prioritize who comes first and who comes next.
Omulimu gw'akakiiko kwonka n'okulondamu naani asoose era naani anayiraku.
That was all.
N'ekyo kyonka.
And the Muluka chief is the secretary.
Omuluka omwami oba omukyala w'omuluka n'omuwandiisi w'akakiiko ako.
But now,
ebiseera bino,
I started hearing people say, batukube enkokola.
Oweekitiibwa president atandise okuwulira akagambo ako ke mwataawo nti babakuba enkokola.
I said, who is kuba yo enkokola?
Naani oyo ali kubakuba enkokola?
You are the one who elected the committee.
Nimwe beene abaalonda akakiiko ako ak'obwegayisi ak'omuluka ogwo.
So what happened?
Ekyaliwo.
So you people who stay in the parishes, you have to help us to know what is the problem.
Obuzibu buliga mu nkola eno ku muluka ogwo.
So the issue of everybody not getting at a goal is understandable because the money was 100 million per year.
Ensonga ey'okuba nti buli muntu akaali kufuna esente eyetegerekeka olw'ensonga nti buli muluka gwaweebwa miliyoni 10 buli mwaka.
But 100 and the reason we did that was also deliberate.
Era ensonga eyo yakolebwa n'obwegendereza.
To see how it works.
Ng'enkola eyo eyakolebwa enkola eno enaakola etya memale.
Because if you get 100 succeeding,
miliyoni ede 10 ediwere miliyoni ede 10 businga enkola eye etuukibwa ku bulungi.
Abazifunye bakola bulungi.
Abadifunye bali kukola nkulana balikola.
Then first of all, each year we shall be adding on.
Buli mwaka gwida kusobola okweyongerwa ku sente dindi.
But then we can even add on once we are sure that it is moving very well, there are no gaps.
Era kasatu kitegerekeka nti mu muluka ogwo gazira nsonga yona eriwo eri kulemesa abantu esente dida kwongerwako.
So therefore, I want you to help us sort out that issue.
Oweekitiibwa president ali kutusaba tusobole okuyambagana ensonga eyeterere obuzibu obuli mu PDM.
But I have seen that in some parts of the country, the really poor people have benefited.
Oweekitiibwa president abwine mu bitundu ebindi nti amazima gene abantu boonera nga baavu basobole okufuna sente ezo.
Abamu
nga baavu basobole okufuna sente ezo.
And they have moved very well.
Era basobole okutambula bulungi.
I don't have time to show you examples, but I know them in the whole country.
Oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti alitukoba nti ekiseera kizirawo yakabeera batulaga engeri yatambwire mu Uganda yoona alinabo.
So this is the third tofali of NRM.
Eyo ne itafaali eryokusatu eri ekibiina kya NRM. Obugayiga.
Uganda is now richer.
Uganda ngayiga.
But all the wealth has not reached everybody, but the country as a whole is much richer.
Obugayiga bukaali kutuuka ku buli muntu yoona aye ng'eiwanga buti saawa dino igayiga.
Now the fourth one.
And so itafaali eryokuna
is jobs.
N'emirimu.
Some people also create a lot of confusion on that issue.
Abantu abandi baleeta obugambo obwawulayawula mu bantu ku
no confusion.
Obubuzaabuza abantu ku nsonga y'emirimu.
That's why many countries get stuck.
Era ky'obaona nti ensi edindi daalemererwa okujja mu maiso.
Uganda now is growing.
Uganda sawa dino erikulankulana.
The production is very high.
Enfulumya y'ebyo bye tukola eri kugirala mu maiso.
Because we know what we are doing and we can see what is lacking.
Olw'okuba President ne gavumenti ye bayidi ki ekiri kukolebwa era n'eki ekikaabulaku.
Now I will show you Basangwa.
Ajja kutulaga omwami ye beeta Basangwa.
Nze Basangwa Johnson, Managing Director wa Jaka Poultry Farm. Jaka Poultry Farm eyaganibwa Bukwenge, Kamuli Municipality, Kamuli District. Mu 2007 twatandika obulunzi nga tutandikira mu Kamuli Town Council by then mu plot yali 50 feet by 100 feet. Ezo futi 5 ku 10 eda itaka. Tutandika tutya twali nga tulina ebyobufuzi wano mu Kamuli nga waliwo ensonga nga chairman wero C5 omugenzi Kawuga bamwidukira Katonda mu ekyumulo eky'emirembe nga bamutoyiremu abantu bangi abatamu application nga bali kwenda okufuuka ba chairman ba 5. Ayi president yaida yatulungamya yakoba tubana abantu mwena temusobola kuba ba chairman ba 5. Aye abantu mujje mukola emirimu egindi ng'okulunda yayogera kulunda embidi okulunda enkoko byonna yabyogera. Nze napikinga mu ekyokulunda enkoko n'atandika farm mu 2007 n'enkoko 5. Sawa dino wendogerera ku farm kuno tize mabega ntambwire. President yaida yankyalira mu 2010 nga ndina enkoko 5,000 yasanuka ino. Sawa dino tutambwire tulina enkoko 1,000 tufulumya amagi etro 2,000 buli lunaku. Etro 2,000 divaamu milioni 2 buli lunaku. Omwezi diva milioni 6. Omwaka tuba tuli mu bilioni ze 6 n'ekitundu etuba tukolaki tuyingiza. So tuwulirisa omulamu gwa president okuva ku kiseera ekyo twakati katukigiireku. President awaire musanufu ino ku bintu byenkoze era nga buli kaseera nkyekingaku. Wendogerera kati tulina abakozi 300 betukozesa.
Now that is the testimony of Basangwa.
Oyo ni mwani Basangwa ngali kutukobera bya bisemu.
They were fighting for the position of LC5 in 2007.
Bali kulwanira obukulembeze obwa entebe ye LC okutaano mu 2007.
When I went there, I said, you people, you are wasting your time. Why do you fight for only one position?
Bwe yatuuka eyo yabakanti muli kumala ebiseera byaimwe lwaki muli kulwanira ekifo kirala kino kyonka eky'obweru C5?
Why don't you do other things, the ones that I'm telling you even now?
Lwaki simukola bintu bindi nga era oweekitiibwa President byali kutukobera saawa dino?
Basangwa just chose one, the eggs.
Mwami Basangwa yasalawo okuwuliriza obubaka bwa President yajja mu kulunda.
He's now a very rich man.
Era buti mugayiga.
He's selling 2,000 trays of eggs per day.
Ali kutunda etule d'amagi 2,000 buli lunaku.
He's earning 20 million shillings a day.
Buli lunaku ali kufuna sente da Uganda 20 million.
Here in Busoga.
wano Busoga,
not Dubai, not what all those places.
ti Dubai oba ensi edindi dona ayi gano Busoga.
And that's 600 million a month.
Ede emiliyoni olukaaga mu mwezi.
That is 7.2 billion a year.
Era n'obuwumbi 7 n'emiliyoni 2 buli mwaka.
So he has chased poverty.
Obwavu yabugoba.
And he started with a plot
Ayi yatandikira mu ploti
of 50 by 100 feet.
Yatandikira ku ploti eya eri 5 ku 10.
But now he's a rich man, but he is not only rich, he has now created 300 jobs.
Busawadde no mugayiga ayi teacher abugayiga kyonka ayi akuli atonzeewo emirimu.
Obugayiga bw'abasangwa buzaire emirimo 300.
Obugayiga bw'abasangwa buzaire emirimu 300.
The man who had no job,
ayali azira mulimo,
he has now got a job,
buti alina omulimo,
but also jobs for others.
ate yafunira n'abandi emirimu.
So when we are explaining to I'm telling you all this,
Oyitibwa Pulezidenti bw'aba ali kutukobera ensonga dino,
because these are the issues which disturb the population.
era n'edimu ku nsonga ediri kutawaanya abantu mu nsi muno.
They wonder, how can I get out of poverty?
Beebuuza, naava ntya mu bwavu?
How can I get a job?
Naafuna ntya omulimu?
And the answers are here.
Okuyiribwamu ni kuno.
This is why I sent this right up.
Oyitibwa Pulezidenti kyova ali kutukoba nti akatabo ako kaali kutulaga message eyo yagitoomu.
You have seen the 300 jobs created by Basangwa just in a few years.
Mu bwene emirimu 300 egitondeibwawo ni mwami Basangwa mu myaka emitono giti.
But let me show you the factories.
Leka batulage n'amakolero.
That huge town you see,
Tawuni eyo yemuli kubonaawo enene etyo
is the new town near Mbale.
Etawuni eyo eri kumpi n'ekibuga kyaife eky'Embale.
It is a town of Amakolero, not shops.
Ekyo ekibuga kiri mu makolero meereere ti maduuka.
And there are 75 factories there.
Galimu amakolero 75.
Let's enter one of them and see how many people are working there.
Tuyingire ku munda mulimu kuyikolera eryo abantu babone ebyebirikolebwamu.
See the number of young people who are working there.
Muli kubona abaana abawala abalenzi n'abato emirimu gye balikola omwo.
So therefore, this is the fourth tafari.
Eryo n'ettafaali eryokuna.
NRM has put on the House of Uganda.
NRM lyesoboire okutaawo mu Uganda.
The factories
amakolero
are now employing 1.2 million people.
Amakolero saawa dino gali kukozesa abantu emiliyoni endala n'emitwalo 2.
Let me see the agriculture.
Oyitibwa Pulezidenti atukwate kajeeku mu kitundutundu eky'obulimi.
The government, if you look at this booklet on page 8,
bwe tulinga mu katabo ako abaakafunyeeko oba abanaakafuna ku peegi ey'omunaana,
government employs 480,000 people.
Gavumenti ya Uganda ekozesa abantu emitwalo 48.
Agriculture employs 11.2 million.
Ekitundutundu eky'obwobulimi kikozesa emiliyoni 12 ed'abantu.
Manufacturing employs 1.3 million.
Amakolero gakolesa abantu emiliyoni endala n'emitwalo 3.
Those in services, transport, hotels and so on,
ababali mu by'obuweereza omuli entambula amahotel
9.1 million people.
bakolesa emiliyoni 9 n'emitwalo 10.
Then the ICT,
abo abya kabwidubwidu,
let me see how many, 1.5 million.
bali emiliyoni endala n'ekitundu.
So here we have got guidance for the population.
Mu katabo ako mulimu endagiriro n'okukobera abantu kye basaana okukola.
You the NRM people,
Ife abakulembeze ba NRM
to tell the people that the solution for our problems are one, just like I say here.
Bwe tubanga tulikobera abantu betulese enuma abakulembeze n'abantu abatuli enuma bitundu byaife okubakobera nti ebizibu bino biteekwa kutambuzibwa okuva ku nsonga ndala ibiri paka ensonga ebinawaayo.
One of the tofaris, the 7, which I don't have time to talk about so much, is the one is number 6.
Erimu ku itafaali matambafaali omusanvu aye itafaali ly'omukaaga.
The one of markets.
N'itafaali ery'obutale.
Uniting East Africa to have a bigger market.
Okugaita ebuvanjuba bwa Afrika okuba nga tulina akatale kalala.
Because this production we are talking about, if we don't have market for it, it will not survive.
Enfulumya eno etuli kufulumya mu bye tulima n'ibye tukola bwe tuba tuzira akatale tujja kusobola kumalako.
So when you hear people talking of politics of tribes, religion, those are enemies of your future, you young people.
Buli lw'owulira omuntu ng'ayogera ku by'obufuzi ebirimu ebika, kabira n'amadiini, manira era ng'oyo mulabe w'eggwanga lino.
Because if you listen to that, you will never get out of poverty.
Bw'onaamuwuliriza oyo tojja kusobola kuva mu bwavu.
A country like the United States is very rich now.
Eggwanga lya America igayiga.
Why?
Lwaki?
Because they united many people.
Olw'okuba lyagayita abantu bangi n'obutundutundu bw'ensi bungi.
And a big territory.
N'eitaka inene ino lye balinalyo.
United States is 3 million square miles.
Eitaka lyona lyona okwetooloola America biri emiliyoni 3 n'obutundu 3. Square miles.
Here Uganda we are 93,000. We are not even 100,000 square miles.
Uganda wano tuli emitwalo mwenda. Tituweza na square mile 10.
So you can put Uganda into United States 30 times.
Osobola okuta Uganda mu bitu Uganda ogikutulamu ebitundu bya America emirundi nga 30.
And here we are talking tribes, religion. You are really lost.
Mwaba gano nga mwogera ebyakabira n'amadiini era imwe ekituufu mwabula.
You have no future.
Muzira mberi ye mujja.
Since NRM came, we are always telling you about Unite Uganda, Unite Africa. This is where the future is.
Okuva NRM lwe yayidda gano kugaita Uganda, kugaita Africa n'okujja emberi kwa Uganda gekwemereire.
Latin America is rich in natural resources.
Latin America erina ebyobugayiga by'omu itaka bingi.
Forests,
erina ebibira,
rivers,
erina gayanda,
minerals,
erina ebugayiga by'omu itaka.
But it is fragmented politically.
Kutulwamu n'obu government obwo obuliyo.
That's why they are poor.
Kyova okubananga baavu.
You cannot succeed as a businessman in the United States because where do you sell your products?
Tosobola kufaanana nga America olw'okuba ozirawo otunda byokola.
When you produce in Nicaragua, El Salvador, those small countries.
Obusobo bonabona nga bwetibwa president bwayogere ku bufulumya aye olw'okuba tibwegayifu. Buzira katale. Akatale akanene akagazi.
So please, this is the message of NRM.
Eyo ne message n'obubaka obwa NRM ng'ate buva ey'owekitibwa president waife omulungi.
It is already given at the parish conference.
Bwaleetebwa mu nkiiko ed'emiruka.
But when the speaker, the one who started this effort in Teso there, Owekitiibwa Rwetondalo Speaker ne yakitandiika ng'akitandikira mu Teso with the LC1 chairperson.
N'okwetaba chairperson ab'ebyalo bano.
So I liked it. I said, okay.
Owekitiibwa President yakyaniriza bulungi era kyova tuli wano.
Then we had it in Bukedi.
Kyasobola okubaawo mu bitundutundu ekya Bukedi.
Then Lango.
Kyabaire mu kitundutundu ky'Erango.
Then I'm coming from West Nile.
Aliko muzeeyi ekiseera kino ava mu mambuka ga West Nile.
And Acholi.
Niba naife mu Acholi.
When I spoke to Namuganza, is Namuganza here?
No, Your Excellency, she's not here.
You can see.
Azirawo.
You are dividing yourselves.
Yes, sir.
You must choose, because Namuganza is the one who told me, said, you bring this one here.
Owekitiibwa President ne yakoba nti enankani eyo gireete wano.
Namuganza, when I rang Namuganza, When I rang Namuganza, she's the one who said that we must do it here.
Bwe yakubira Honorable Namuganza yakoba nti ensonga eteekwa okwidda wano.
So I said no problem.
Oweekitiibwa President yakatigaza buzibu.
We don't have time to have them everywhere, but we can have in some, and then after elections we can have in others also.
Gazira ensonga eno akaluwe kanaaba kawere ng'ebiseera biriwo buli mu kitundu kya Busoga n'ekya Uganda tudda kutuukayo.
But now, because of the divisions here in Busoga,
olw'enkutukakutuka n'okweyawulayawula okuli mu Busoga,
you see Namuganza is not here.
Oli kubona ni Namuganza ganaazirawo.
I spoke to my young sister Rebecca Kadaga.
Oweekitiibwa President ayogere ni Oweekitiibwa Right Honorable Kadaga.
I said, are you going to the meeting?
Oli kujja mu meeting erya Iganga.
Invited.
Yakoba tiya yeteebwa.
Then I rang speaker.
Yakubira Oweekitiibwa Right Honorable Speaker Antamo.
I said, why did you not invite Rebecca?
Lwaki tewayese Rebecca Kadaga?
Then he said, no, all flag bearers were invited.
Oweekitiibwa yamukoba ati bafulaga beera bona bona bayeteebwa.
Then, but I think Rebecca was saying, how, then I rang, I am always like a mediator, going here, ringing.
Wakubira Rebecca.
I rang Rebecca again and said, you were invited as flag bearer.
Era yakubira Oweekitiibwa Rebecca yamukali muna bakwese nga fulaga bearer.
How did they invite me? On the radio or what?
Mbu bamwetere ku radio oba kuki?
Then when I got here, I said, how did you invite Kadaga?
Era bw'atuuse wano yakoba ati Oweekitiibwa Rebecca Kadaga mwamwese mutya.
Now the chairman here, tell me what you told me.
Era Oweekitiibwa President mukobye nsobe Oweekitiibwa President tube tukolagana ni ba RDC tukolagana ni ba DISO okuinforminga ba fulaga bearer bona abali mu Busoga okuinforminga ba chairman ab'ebyalo ab'emiruka okukobera ba chairman ba magombolola ni ba chairman ni ba fulaga bearer ba district ni ba fulaga bearer bona ab'MP. Era ensonga eyo sebo chairman wa NRM Mwami Bazanya Wekamuli namukubira isimu era n'abantu abandi bamukubira isimu era yakakasa nti ajja kutuusa amawulire ku bafulaga bearer bona okuva Wekamuli era seba abasinga bungi tulina bo wano.
Kale, what I advise you,
Oweekitiibwa President alituwa amagezi
that the poor people need unity among the leaders.
Abantu abaavu benda obwegayifu omuli mu bakulembeze.
Because you are delaying their coming out of poverty by not working together.
Muli kulwisaawo abantu okusigala nga bali mu bwavu singa mbanga temulikolanira galala.
The ones who are suffering are the poor people.
Abali kusinga kubonaabona n'abaavu.
Because when the rich ones are quarreling, they are in cars, they are in good houses, they can afford to quarrel.
Abagayiga bwe bali kuyomba bali mu motoka zaabwe bali mu mayumba era basobola okuyomba aye abaavu bali kubonaabona.
Every day you stay in poverty, somebody may even die because of poverty.
Omuntu asobola okuva ne mu nsi muno yafa olw'obwavu.
So please, I ask you, be abetowaze.
Oweekitiibwa President ali kutusaba mube bayikayikamu n'akagambo ke muli ak'obwetoowaze ng'abakulembeze.
That is humble. Humble is the word I'm looking for.
Era sebo n'ekyo ky'oyogera eky'obwetoowaze sebo.
Yes. If I was not umwetoowaze, I would not have managed the Uganda.
Oweekitiibwa President singa abaire timu wetoowaze bananga obuggalo n'akaluulu tiyakasoboire okuba nga akatukulembera okutuuka saawa dino. Abanyankole
balina amagezi gaabo geira.
Balina amagezi ag'okuveera. Omunyankole akukoba
nti bw'oba ofuluma kuva mu nyumba ku makya.
Bw'oba ofuluma ku munumba ku nkyo
toza amaaso emabega.
Toyiza amaiso einuma.
Bw'oyiza amaiso enyuma ogenda kusanga omukyala akola bw'ati.
Bw'oyiza amaiso einuma odda kwagaana omukyala ng'ali ku konkonya mu nkoone.
Kati mu kifo ky'okugenda mu safaari.
Mu kifo ky'okujja mu safaari y'obaire oli kujja.
ogenda kukomaoni mtandika kulwana
kabiro da kuiro olwana gane no nali kukonkonya ngoli kufuluma
aye boba tomubwine sisyansonga bakoze ki
boba tomubwine yoda kujja bujje tomana kukonkoniza inumeno
don't have to timulina kutimba buli kantu koda kutimba muleke wacha uyu
tibuli kantu kona kona nga mteko okwogera kuoboka bwena bireke ebyo bibitewo oje maiso
NRM oye
NRM oye
omukere wenkofira oye
omukere wenkofira Yoweri Kaguta oye
Busoga oye
Busoga oye
Uganda oye
Uganda oye
East Africa oye
East Africa oye Baba tukweyanziza. Thank you so much. Anthem in advance order. Anthem. DJ Tamu chairman akemba ka chairman akompala. Thank you so much. Walio chairman